Hi, this is Tom Reber, and I'm your host today on Jacksonville Buzz. And I'm super excited. I have a fantastic guest with me. He works for his own company called Don Fox Works. Works by Don Fox. The man, Don Fox.
Tom, it is so great to see you.
You know, having you on the show brings back so many memories. We go back 27, 28 years, and I have witnessed and respected your career as an actual athlete, as a worker. Mm-hmm. You kind of started off not only as working with Burger King.
Right.
You were there 23 years. What's the one big thing you learned from Burger King?
Sometimes what not to do.
Oh.
But that is a bit serious too. But man, I learned so much. In fact, really some of the most formative things in my restaurant career. I spent 50 years in restaurants.
Yes.
And the most formative things really were at the very beginning.
Yes.
When you're in the trenches, starting out in the lowest level positions, that's when you learn some of the toughest lessons.
Yes.
And the things that stuck with me, and by virtue of that, by starting really on the bottom, I was able to empathize, sympathize, more appropriately,
have awareness
with folks that then I have to lead, or I shouldn't say have to. I have the privilege of leading over the course of years and years to come. And of course, back in those days, in my first job, scrubbing pots and pans in a little Italian restaurant, if you had ever told me that eventually I'd be running $1 billion company as CEO, I would have said you're nuts.
Well,
but
as they say, you got to start somewhere, Coach.
Yeah, you do. Everybody does.
So Burger King,
right?
You transition, you get laid off from Burger King.
Correct. Yeah, in 2003.
You run into the Sorensen Firehouse subgroup.
Right.
You came in with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, and you made it happen.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, it was serendipitous, looking back on it in so many ways. I wasn't expecting to depart from Burger King. 23 years under my belt. No reason to think I would ever leave. Kind of working your way up the hierarchy, but let go. And we love Jacksonville. Now my first recourse would have been to look at other major fast food companies, and I did interview. I had opportunities in Atlanta, New Orleans. Family didn't want to go, so it's like, boys, we were playing baseball.
I know, we're playing ball, baby.
Coaching the kids together, and it's like, okay, I'll do my best. Telling my wife Stephanie, I said, well, I'll try to find a way to stay. But there weren't necessarily a lot of there weren't any really major companies in the restaurant space here, so landed on the doorstep of Firehouse, 65 restaurants at that point. And what I brought to the table at that point was my 23 years of Burger King experience, and great people within the Firehouse system at that early stage, but not many with the depth of experience, and especially when it came to franchising, which I'd had a lot of experience on the franchising side. So I came to lead that part of the business.
You were the rocket booster to take them to the next level, and now they're national.
Well, it's incredible. It was, as we grew, when we got to the 1,000 unit mark, that was a goal, and that felt great because virtually every restaurant concept that starts up, and especially if you get into franchising, everybody wants to get to that level, but very few in the end make it. There's, I think maybe today about 50 companies that are at 1,000 or more, so pretty thin air given how many
Rare
try to do
Coach. Rare
air. So I was excited about the 1,000 unit mark, but what I really was shooting for, I really wanted to build $1 billion brand, $1 billion in system sales, and in 2021 we achieved that. It was fantastic, and it felt so good. And then the founders decided to sell the company.
Well, and that's what they do.
That was a good time.
It's what they do.
Yeah.
I want to touch on some other things that you're a historian.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
You've written 3 books.
Right.
Legacy. Don Fox Works is incredible. Yeah. Your legacy. Touch on a book. You've written 3 of them. You got your 3rd book coming out. You're an amazing athlete of industry.
Yeah.
What's next for Don Fox?
I was so blessed to be part of the restaurant industry. It gave me opportunities that I never imagined I would have. I mean, my first career ambition was to be a musician, a trumpet player.
Yeah.
But life takes everybody down roads that they never expected. In fact, I often advise youth in particular. I love to speak at colleges in particular, and I will ask. Sorry to diverge here for a moment, but it's relative. I'll ask students, hey, how many of you really are convinced you know what you're going to do? in your life. And the
of
hands.
course,
Actually, sometimes I am surprised not a lot of hands go up.
Yeah.
But I remind them to look, maybe for some of you, you will do exactly what it is you thought you were going to do when you were 14 years old. But not most of you, it's something else. So the key in that, and this became very foundational in my career at every stage, was no matter what you're doing, well, you better give it 100%.
Yes.
Because all I can tell you is if you don't, like you should think, oh, this is a waypoint or stop somewhere else that, I'll save it for the thing I really want to do. No, because you don't know what opportunity you're missing when you don't give it 100%. Which, by the way, I also tell those students, don't ever tell me that you gave something 110%.
No.
Because when you do, all you do is you discovered your 100%.
That is so good.
Right, so, as we're talking about legacy, and the way I bring it home is because with all the opportunity the restaurant industry gave me, I really have a desire to give it back, to the industry and the people within it. So, speaking with students, I imagine I'll probably write a book. My 3 works so far have been on military history.
Yes.
There's a whole backstory to that. But in fact, right now I'm working on a history of the Firehouse brand.
I was about to say that has a whole story in itself.
Right.
I think you have so much more to give, Don. I'm excited about the future. Your retirement is actually going to be a rejuvenation of something bigger.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to be about Works Don Fox.
Yes. Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah. And what I would say too is, and this is something I remind my own adult children now, but others, is that even if in your profession you don't end up doing exactly what it was that you maybe lit your fire back when you were a teen or early adult. Boy, still work at that 100%, parlay that, because if you're extraordinarily successful, you don't have to give up on the things that you were really passionate about.
That's right.
In fact, the reason when I said I wanted to be a musician, I wasn't even thinking about the money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just fun.
But what did I do? I never stopped playing the trumpet. No. I still play today. In fact, because I worked so hard at the restaurant business, it gave me the opportunity one night to play with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh!
I would have never, if I had stayed a musician as a career, I would have probably never played with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
My backup plan to being a musician was to be a historian.
Wow.
If I hadn't succeeded in the restaurant industry, I wouldn't have had the resources, the time to devote to the authorship and the research. So you never always keep those things that really drive you in front of you.
Don Fox, I love you as a human.
Oh, thanks.
You have a phenomenal legacy, and I'm glad it's just beginning again. You're a man of leisure, but you ain't sitting around.
No.
Guys, thank you for tuning in today. Don Fox Works, amazing. Click the link below. We're just getting started with his second part of his career. He's had a great first half. I can't wait to see the second half. So click below, enjoy, learn more. Don, thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, guys. Cheers.